Hi viewers, my name is Lajpat Vyas and I humbly present my midterm project. Let's first start with how I chose my topic for the project, which is poverty. At times I have come across news and seen documentaries to learn that there are a lot of places where millions of people barely eat in a day, and so poverty has been a disturbing topic for me. Since it's a major problem all over the globe, I chose to throw some light on the topic and its effect on lives as a first step to do my bit for a cause. After a little research and watching videos of students who presented before, I felt that World Bank website will be a good start and moved ahead. My project video has two parts. First one is on poverty levels in different regions, and the second one on effects of poverty in simple terms to end the video on a lighter note. So I log on to the World Bank website, and the first thing that showed up was poverty. Scrolling down, I found something very interesting and depressing at the same time, and that is the fact that by 2030, 9 out of 10 of the extreme poor people will live in sub-Saharan Africa. This was kind of disturbing for me. The worst part is visible on the graph, and that is instead of poverty levels falling with time like it happened for all the other regions, the poverty level appears to be increasing. I chose three regions to speak on due to time constraints. These regions are South Asia, East Asia Pacific, and Sub-Saharan Africa. Let me now demonstrate how I got the data for the same. It was a little tricky to get the data because of the huge correct selections you have to make, and I had to play around with it to actually get what I wanted. So I clicked on this tab here and it takes me to this page. You can type for the data you're looking for and you will have options to choose from. I chose poverty and equity data and it took me here. I choose the different things here like the database type, the country, series and years I would like to view. After this, I went ahead to download the data and you can see you have a variety of options that you can choose from. I chose Excel for my project and then downloaded the data. The Excel file I got had a huge data set and I had to clean it up for the things relevant for my project. I selected the number of poor people, percentage of people below poverty line, and some other data for visualization. Some data here is for the second part of my video, which is the effect of poverty. Let me show what all the things on this page mean. You can see the region here and you can see the countries it is made up of. You can see different regions and the countries in separate tabs. Here you can see number of poor in millions for year 81 to 2017 and also the head count, which is a ratio. In simple terms, head count ratio means how many out of 100 below are below the poverty line. And here you can say that out of 100 people in South Asia in 1981, 55 were below poverty line. After that, I moved to make a dashboard for each of them, namely the number of poor, percentage of people below poverty line, distribution of income. Let's start with the number of poor and head count. So what you can see here are a few charts I created with the data. To create the chart, you have to go to the data and select it, click on the insert tab and select the chart type and set it up the way you want. I chose the bar graph and the line data for number of poor and head count ratio and set them up on y-axis. I set the year on x-axis and it's easy to visualize what has happened in three different regions. East Asia and Pacific did really well in eradicating poverty, followed by South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. The second dashboard I created is about the percentage of population below poverty line in the three regions. Again, you select the data, you go to the Insert tab, you select the chart type and set it up. I chose a horizontal bar to display this data, and it clearly shows where countries and regions stand. One can conclude the situation in Sub-Saharan Africa is really bad, and the same is true for some countries in South Asia and East Asia Pacific. The third dashboard I created has something to do with poverty, and that is distribution of income. In simple terms, it means how $100 is divided amongst 100 people. From the graph here, we can see that in most of the regions, richest 20 enjoy approximately half the income and poorest 20 enjoy something between $5 and $10. This can be the reason for poverty to hang around with human for a longer time. And with this, I end the first part of my video. Let's quickly move to the second part and see how poverty affects life of people. And I chose some numbers related to electricity, education, and internet for this purpose. For this purpose, I made a pivot table and a map graph which will come up at the end. Here you can see a pivot table, two slices, and a chart. Slices help to filter data and enables us to visualize number in a better way. Click on slices and numbers change accordingly. If you want to see all of the data, just remove all the filters and it's all on the page. I chose access to electricity, automated teller machines per 100,000 people, fixed broadband internet per 100 people, and individuals using internet per 100 people to make it simple to understand and scare social media lovers through social media. Social media lovers should be fortunate they are not in these regions. Each of these regions started with a very low number in 1981, which could not be incorporated because of space constraints. It appears that East Asia and Pacific has done a really good job over the years to improve life standards. Sub-Saharan Africa ranks very low in all four, while South Asia has low numbers for ATM, fixed broadband internet, and individuals using internet. So guys, let's move to the most important and the last part of the video, and it's about a thing poverty affects and makes poverty a vicious circle, and that thing is education. Studies indicate that pre-primary enrollment has a huge effect on overall education, and education has something to do with poverty. So I chose it and visualized it on a map graph. Each tab here has data on pre-primary enrollment, and I've used that data and visualized this on this map. It is not hard to see that regions hit with poverty have a low percent of enrollment and kids may not have a very comfortable life, which is very unfortunate. So guys, I now end my video here and I hope you guys liked it. Wish you luck. Cheers.